So, Joette, after negotiating 4 deals, if you had to name the top 3 things that you've learned, what would they be?
Finding somebody that you can research and has a dependable track record. Also, someone you have a good rapport with. I mean, not all people are created equal and not all personalities mesh. So, for me, having someone say, you have to do this, or you need to do this, or being pushy, I don't deal well with pushy sales tactics. I've been in sales my entire life between real estate and other things. And it's just not the right approach for some personalities, and some people are that way. Other
Mhm.
people, just like Dan with Solarstone, he came out, met me in person, really showed he cared. That was impressive. If their company wasn't so petite and a startup company, they would have been the choice I was going to go with.
Yeah.
Uh, so they're kind of a backup plan. I think those are key components because everyone's different, everyone has a different relationship, and as I said last time, not all developers are created equal. It's also good to find somebody who can help guide you through the process, who's been through this. So that's why I've had good fortune in meeting people and helping them. I've talked to way more than just 4 different projects. It's just those are the 4 that we've actually successfully put under option. And so I help people regularly with, well, will your project work? If it's in Colorado, I can usually give you a pretty good insight. If it's not in Colorado, I am as lost as last year's Easter egg because there's so many little rules and laws that each state offers that I just don't understand, or the incentives that the government's offering. I mean, back east, they're giving huge credits
Right.
for everything that you can produce, and out here, it's less. But the cost of doing business and finding large tracts of land is less than those areas, as you mentioned before, like in Maryland, where it's hard to find big tracts of land, or
Mhm.
places that aren't covered in trees.
Yes.
We have a lot of that
Absolutely.
here that is wide open grasslands.
Absolutely. So, Joette, if I were another agent on the call or a landowner on the call, and I was wondering, so if I were to work with you, how would you assist me with investing in land? How have you utilized Landgate to help yourself do that or your clients?
So I think Landgate is such a fun tool. And just kind of on a side note, I had helped some other coworkers at Fay Ranches. They're Wyoming agents who one is licensed in Nebraska, was working on listing a ranch, a lot rather large cattle ranch in Nebraska. They were trying to figure out opportunities that they could put in front of their seller saying, look, if you don't want to sell it, here's what you could do. Or to help you evaluate what that ranch is truly worth, this is what you could do with solar, wind, all these different options. It's like a 10,000-acre ranch. So they have lots of opportunity and they have transmission lines passing through it. So I ran the Landgate report, was able to provide them with a lot of details. And that was very helpful for those agents. And after that, they actually listed that ranch on Landgate because they were so excited about the resources that they could get through Landgate. I find those reports very beneficial as she's flipping through and showing you what you can get out of the reports. There's soils, there's wetlands, there's minerals, there's carbon, there's all kinds of great things that they can show you. And some of the numbers are just averages. So, if you know your local market, you can go in and tweak it. Also, if you know, oh, some land just sold that they probably don't have record of because your algorithm probably hasn't picked up the recent sales from the county, you can go in and edit those as an agent and make sure everything is as up to date as possible. And so they give you a really good platform to work off of, and then you can make it really fit your client's property. So I love that type of information out of Landgate. The fact you can list your property on Landgate for free and not even have to be a paid subscriber. That's what Neil did, the gentleman in Wyoming who I was helping with the Nebraska property. There's just so many different opportunities. And so when I'm looking at properties for myself, I know some properties in Southern Colorado that I wish I had the budget to afford because I see so much opportunity there. And when I go look at the transmission lines, I see there's room in the queue. I see this is an ideal spot, but those agents aren't marketing it. And I'm kind of keeping that one close to the vest because I'm going to find a buyer who's looking for grazing land that they could do that with and put options on. And I'm going to sell it just because other people aren't aware.
Absolutely. And having access to the data gives you that edge up. If
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I researched each of these and knew which company had each transmission line on the one ranch, the substations that are nearby, the availability that you could see in the lines. Obviously, there's more in-depth stuff to it that I would really like to dig into, but if I manage to find a buyer for it, I will help them. Otherwise, I'm working really hard to try and put the funds together to buy it myself.